Hey guys! Okay, so today I have got another foundation for you. It is and I hauled this the other day, but it is the Liquid Skin Fauxxdation Double Fix Foundation. This is from the XX Revolution line that is under the Makeup Revolution umbrella. Has really pretty fancy packaging. Now this does fingerprint because it's sort of that, it's almost like a purpley, what is that? Not onyx, but anyways, it's got that sort of purpley black, but it is, I mean, it's not actual metal, it's plastic, but it's got that sort of look to it. Is that pewter? Is that what that's called? Anyway, I don't know. But that's fingerprint. Okay, so this is, let's see, I was gonna say I didn't look it up because I did not, but there might be some information on the box, which there is. This is in the shade FX 3.5. Double Fix Fauxxdation Silk Finish Long Wear Liquid Skin Foundation for full coverage for a flawless complexion. Infused with vitamin E and hyaluronic acid to hydrate the skin. Okay, this is not a first impression because, as happens so often on my channel, I filmed this the other day and the footage did not work out because I was like, we're gonna do old school in the car, which I totally did and it was cool, but my camera was kind of flipped upside down, so I kept looking at the other side. So it was just really awkward because I'm like looking over here like, hi guys, you know, it was just really weird. So I was like, well, I can't really use the footage. I was so close because I was like, I don't want to waste it. It was like it was a thing and we did it. So, but anyway, I am going to put a primer on, this all ties in. I'm going to use this primer. This is the Pore Deactivator infused with tea tree extract. Pore minimizing and mattifying primer. I do not need with this foundation to be more mattified, and in fact I should probably use a different primer, which I think I will. So not this one. I'm going to go ahead and use the L'Oreal, where is it at? This one, the Visible Lift Luminous Tint. This is not technically a primer, or it's not marketed as that. It's but it really is. It's kind of like a moisturizing, glowy primer. Looks like that. It's actually pink, but oh, it stinks so much. But because this foundation I'm going to try today is very matte, and just as a kind of a spoiler, but also kind of a full disclosure, it looked fine on my skin just by itself, but I just feel like a primer is going to be very beneficial, or at the very least, since I'm not a primer girl, like freshly moisturized skin I think is the best way to go on this type of a foundation. Long wearing, matte, and I just feel like you're gonna get the best result if you're freshly moisturized, and that way your skin is primed to receive the foundation, or at least to glide on and smooth on a bit more naturally. Give it its best chance of success. So okay, and ladies, I will say, like, just ignore my mess. I am trying to revamp my vanity situation, and so I'm trying to get more storage because I just have so much now, especially since I've started doing videos. I've got like an unholy amount of foundations on my desk and just makeup in general. It's just crazy. It's just crazy, but I need more storage. So a lot of this stuff came from my vanity, plus my office is still in full swing. Whew. Oh my goodness, I thought I was gonna have a break after the holiday season. I am on the map, ladies, and I almost regret it, almost. It's just a lot for one person to do, and so we're doing it though, and woo! So anyway, that's what's going on here. You know, I shouldn't have to explain myself but since I'm on camera, I just do. So anyway, the other day when I tried this is the bottle. It's a nice bottle, like good packaging. I'm very, very happy about the packaging. I think it's really nice. Doesn't necessarily matter, but the other day when I opened it, there was a bunch of like separated goo, like on the inside of the cap and on the bottle. It's not there today. I think I got it all the way off and wiped it all the way off, but so just make sure you really give this a good shake just to make sure it's all completely combined. All right, so here we go. Again, not a first impression. But we're just gonna see how it works today. So a little bit creamy. The shade is decent. Little bit on the orangey side. I am less orange, more yellow toned in real life. That's not picking up on camera, but and it could be just the lighting of my room and everything, but as far as I can see in my room, and this is natural lighting coming in from the sun, my skin is looking a bit more orangey on camera than it is in real life. Okay, so I do have a sponge, but I'm also going to use a brush today. I'm going to use the AOA Studio High Def F2 brush, and we're just going to get this on. It has a nice scent. It kind of smells like clean summertime, almost citrusy. Unless that's just my brush. Oh, I bet it is. Because I just washed my brushes the other day. And it smells like the soap. That's what it is. So the foundation has a scent, but it's not smelling as good as what the brush smells like from that soap. Okay, so you can see the amount of coverage we're getting. I can't really say, I don't think that this is gliding on any better with that primer underneath than the other day, but I just thought I'd try it to give it a bit of a shot just to see how it's gonna work out. But you can see the coverage. I mean, the coverage does look good. I would give this a solid medium coverage. I am breaking out real bad all over myself. Who knows why at my age this should be happening, but it is. I've got it all up in my hairline, like, why is that happening? I don't know, anyway. But I feel like you have to be careful to put one thin layer on, and that's gonna give you the best look. You can tell that I'm wearing makeup. Doesn't look bad though. It is very matte, so I think for myself, at my age, the best way to do a foundation like this is to thin it down or add in a luminizer. I think if I just got this foundation and was trying it out, which I am doing, I would probably mix in, if I can find it, a tinted moisturizer, or this one, the Milani Glow Hydrating Skin Tint. I don't have the original package for this, which actually it's somewhere around. Anyway, this is very glowy and very kind of slippery feeling, and I think that might help a foundation like this to look less dry. Because if you have dry skin, like, it doesn't look bad in my opinion, like it does not look bad at all. You're gonna be able to tell that you're wearing foundation. But if you're hoping for something a little bit glowier on the skin, a little bit less, like, this is gonna make me look a little bit old, because not that it's drying, it's hard to describe. It's on that fine line where it doesn't look bad, but I think anyone older than me and that has more fine lines, like you can see I got a ton of them, you probably won't like this because it's gonna just look too makeup-y. So I think we'll go ahead and do the concealer today too, because it just seems like a bit much to be, dragging it out, the whole, the foundation and the concealer. It fell down on the floor, but here it is. And this is the Concealxx Super Fixx Concealer. I don't know if they're meant to go together, but the packaging is the same. So we're just gonna try that today. And so I'm gonna go ahead and, just to see for building up purposes, how this is gonna look being built up. Now I'm really trying to not put a lot. I personally think a foundation like this probably is not a good idea if it's built up on me. If you're younger than me and have like severely oily skin, it might work out for you. Something else that I noticed wearing this all yesterday, I filmed the video yesterday and wore it yesterday all day. It lasted a really long time, and I have that dry patch right here. It seemed to be better when I blended it out with a sponge, which this is the AOA sponge. It's the kind with the flocking on the outside. Microfiber, I think they call it, something like that. I mean, it builds up for more coverage, but with the brush, it was just looking pretty crusty, dry, and crepey. It just looks, I mean, I don't know, I think it's just too dry for my skin, too matte, I should say. I keep saying dry, but my skin does look kind of dry, especially with the buildup. One thin layer is decent. The buildup, it's just too much. So, all right, let's go ahead and try the concealer on the other side. Well, I'll go ahead and, tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna wipe off the rest of this. Now, that was one full pump, which I did not use the full pump of at all. Like a thin layer, ladies, I think is gonna be your best bet. Even if you have a lot to cover and are really oily, I think one thin layer, anything more than that is gonna look dry and crepey too, because it'll just be too much product. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and try the concealer on this eye so we can get a kind of a idea of the coverage. There's nothing on the tube, on the actual tube, but the box says crease proof, life proof full coverage concealer. Conceals and brightens skin, covering blemishes, dark circles, and redness. It says stretchable formula with no flashback. I don't know what that means. Biggest criticism of this concealer is the doe foot. Okay, look at the angle. There's an angle on it. I don't know if you can see that. That doesn't help anybody. They should have just made it flat. All that does is keep you from being able to pull it out of the bottle. And so you pull hard to get it out, and then anything that's on there drips out. Like I had it drip on my skirt twice. Like it was so annoying. So I don't know why they do that. It seems silly to me. All right, let's just get it on. Okay, and again, I'll just wait for the spots. I'll cover those up in just a second. I feel like when I tried it yesterday, I used a brush. This is the Chic Pro Angled Blender. I got it from Five Below. I used the brush yesterday, but the concealer as well, I think it blends out better with a sponge. So I'm going to do it with the brush, start off with the brush, and then I will see if I need to go over it with the sponge. I'll even the rest of my face out with the foundation in just a second. But I mean, you can see like, and the shade is CX6. Not the lightest shade at all. They have a really good shade range, or at least there's a lot of different undertones and stuff for you to choose from. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. Let's see if you guys can see. That does not look too bad at all. I don't think the coverage is that amazing though, and I don't think it's any better than the Morphe. What I'm gonna do is add a little bit more, and I'll also try and cover up my spots just to see how it can build up if it starts to look bad. So I got some spots going on right there. I'm gonna try and keep it on my hairline because that's just gonna most likely create a problem and be difficult to blend, and it'll get all in my hair and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the sponge on this one. One thing I do not like about this sponge in particular is all the velvet flocking is starting to disintegrate and crumble off. I don't know why I have that problem with so many sponges. They just disintegrate. The Eco Tools one, the Real Techniques one. The only one that hasn't done that to me is this one. These ones, I should say. I think it's called, I can't remember, but I did a video using these sponges. I can't remember what they're called, Precision Beauty or something like that. But anyway, I got it at Walmart in a little 3-pack. Yeah, all the fibers and the material of the sponge just crumbles. And I don't know why that is. If anybody has an idea why that might happen, put that in the comments below. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so the buildup, I feel like I got a little bit more coverage, not a ton. It is dry though, like it is just dry. So I think if you're dry, just skip this one. I don't think it's gonna do you any good. I'm gonna go ahead and even out my skin tone with the foundation with the sponge, and we'll just see what happens. But I just think it's a little bit heavy. Like I'm on the fence with it. I don't think it looks awful, but I do think that once it dries, oh, what happened? Once it dries down, you know, I feel like it's just going to look dry, and it'll be one of those times where you're just like, but the coverage looks pretty decent. It looks good, or at least not bad, not terrible. But then when you go out in society, you're gonna look like makeup-y. Now, if you don't mind like that bit of makeup-iness, which isn't the worst that I've ever tried, like it really isn't that bad. I feel like I'm giving it a worse review than it actually deserves. I think if you're younger, but you want full coverage or fuller coverage, this one isn't bad. The light is reflecting off it a little bit, but it's not dewy and like, you know, real young looking. But if you're really oily, that might be something good. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just kind of on the fence because it doesn't look bad enough where I'm just like, this is disgusting, don't get it or don't try it. But it's not good enough to where I'm just like, this is the way to go. Probably would be a really good additive, but all right, so I am looking at my clock and we're up to about 16 minutes. I think you kind of get the general idea of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's just on the fence where it's just, I almost like it really close, but I'm just kind of like not quite there yet. So, okay, so don't forget to, let me give you a bit of a swatch real quick of the foundation and the concealer right next to each other. This is the foundation, the shade Fxx 3.5. And then this is the concealer in the shade CX6. I think I probably would have liked this shade better for like my full face. It's got that more of a yellow undertone, and this one's a bit more pinky orange. So it's fine, I can get away with it, and I'll wear it for the rest of the day, of course, like I always do. I did wear it yesterday, and it was long lasting, but again, I just feel like and I'll try this, and what I'll probably do for the update, if I get a chance, which I probably won't today, but I'll probably come back and try an update, is to mix it with something like this and see if that kind of helps with just the look, the overall look of it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding my bell, put in the comments for our 1,000 subscribers video what you would like, what makeup products you would like me to use, like your favorite blush, so we could create a whole full face of makeup that you guys want me to try. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.